This is Talking Chaos with Warlock Fred and Condor. Thank you for listening. Hey, it's another episode of Talking Chaos. I'm the Condor, I guess.
And this is Warlock Fred.
I hope it is, because otherwise I've called the wrong guy.
Oh, Jesus. Not again.
We're just sitting around sort of talking about what we want this to be, what this means to us, sort of how do we make this what we envision right now. Fred, you're making noises.
That was my glass. I'm sorry. I drink whiskey while we do this because, I mean, you got to numb your mind somehow.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that Ian McKellen was pretty drunk when he was playing Gandalf the Wizard, so... Warlock's got a drink, bro.
Wizards, warlocks. I mean, even Daniel Radcliffe was admitting that he was drunk on the set of Harry Potter. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. Wizards got a drink.
Absolutely. Get it in.
So what do we do with this? What kind of topics do you think that we should talk about, Fred?
So, I don't know. My thought process on it is we give our own life experiences in the hope that we can, like, with a little bit of comedy intermingled in, better educate other people to make sure that they either don't make the same dipshit mistakes we made, or help guide them on some of the better mistakes we've made.
Allow them to enjoy the situation more than we enjoyed it because of the fuckery.
Exactly. The shenanigans aplenty.
Yeah, for sure.
And your thoughts, sir?
About what I want this to be?
Oh, absolutely.
I kind of want this to be a bit of a social commentary, but without being so cliche that people don't want to listen.
Without the lecture and ranting?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting preached at everywhere I go. Whether it's taking a look at the newspaper in the stand while I'm checking out for cigarettes, or I'm on social media and I've got multiple political ads just coming at me. It all feels like it's trying to preach at me. And
oh, absolutely.
I can't really participate in that without feeling absolutely guilty. And so, like, politics, I don't want to talk about that on here at all, really. Because,
I mean, I'm sure eventually we're going to get into the, like, what our, like, because who, like, again, our decisions and what we do and who we are is a little bit of, like, our political views do help shape and, mold that bit. And so it's more the, like, I know there's going to be touches upon politics, but not necessarily we're going to lecture at the audience.
Oh, yeah.
The listeners of it.
If we talk about it, it will be Fred and I, the Condor, trading views and having a discussion rather than screaming at the population to behave a particular way. Because I think I could safely say I believe that both Fred and myself believe that if you want to vote a particular way, you have every right to do so. And
absolutely,
the way that we sort of protest that is by trying to educate people on the way that, I don't know, some of us think that governing should happen, and education and social programs and tax cuts. Like, how do we benefit the most citizens? That's really all I want and care about. I don't care about what happens to me. And again, somehow we got on politics. I'm dropping this right now. I can't even, like, it's so easy for me to get into it that it's going to be such a challenge to stay away from it on this, through this outlet.
That's because it's such a polarized thing, and there's so many different there's so many different topics that come up with politics. Like, you can go anywhere from, like,
very few topics aren't political in some way, shape, or form. It's heartbreaking to some extent. Um, but as far as this show, okay,
Mhm.
I think that humor is probably, if not the best medicine, it's one of the best medicines. I've heard chemotherapy has quite the effect. So, an
I
aspirin's
mean,
always really been reliable, right?
well, I mean,
So, like, one
again,
of my top 5 favorite medicines. Because, like, Vicodin's really good too. So, I like, with all that in mind, laughter's good medicine. And I think that there's a way to make people laugh through either our experience or our false expectations or I don't know, our ridiculous commentary on a particular situation. There may be segments in the future on this show called Florida Man because we've just because it's so easy, right? Yeah, like I all I had to say was the 2 words, and Fred was laughing. It could have been the whiskey. We're not sure. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know. I think that this show could go in many different ways. But all I want is it to be like a really funny way for us to interact with the audience. Which, by the way, hasn't happened yet. But I look forward to it. I really I can't endorse enough how much I enjoy the idea of audience interaction
oh,
and
absolutely.
them playing a part in this and content creation and ideas and concepts. Like I want us to send us that stuff. I'm working on trying to get an email set up for us for this, but I haven't quite done that because frankly the Condor. Well, let's just say he spends a lot of time in the sky. Okay, it does suit the Condor. I got a problem.
Ridiculous.
I know. Um, we might glaze over that. That we'll see.
Again, with the political nature of this fucked up country.
Yeah, no, it's really difficult. How do we create content that isn't too political? And frankly,
Well,
I don't want to come off as a couple of ambulance chasers that are just trying to grab the topic of the week and try to get as many people to listen in on it as possible.
exactly. That I mean, to be fair, like in all honesty, that's just like jumping on news topic after news topic. It's been done. We're not trying to be that podcast or that newscast or whatever the fuck. Like we're not trying to jump in on CNN, Fox News type shit. We're trying to
Well, and frankly,
open
I
up and
shouldn't be trusted with that possibility, that power, that ability to inform the public. I have much more experience being a dumbass. So that's how I'm going to share with the public. Um,
at least you admit it.
I luckily haven't been to jail for very long. We might get into that at some point. I won't spoil that for people who listen to
Ooh,
future
this I'm
episodes.
gonna need to hear.
That was a couple of times, man, but like the accumulated amount of time I've spent in jail is less than a day.
Impressive.
Uh, not for a white guy.
Uh,
Impressive would be not going.
all right. Well, that would be me.
Frankly, like a white guy ending up in jail is like me ending up in with the GPA that I did in high school. Like I ended high school with a 1.8. It's almost as though I put in effort to get there.
I was gonna say, like, how did you? Wait a minute.
I'm not even
What?
joking. I went from a 4 my freshman year to a 1.8 when we graduated.
I mean, even I legitimately failed a class at some point and still ended up with a 3.2.
You said A class, right?
See,
I failed 5 classes.
that is not possible given the graduation requirements of the high school we attended.
I had to retake one of my final exams in order to graduate.
Ouch.
I did in fact fail 5 classes, but because I retook the exam, I passed with a D minus.
That is astounding.
Miraculous was the word that our principal used.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Miraculous. I couldn't believe that anything I would ever do would be described as miraculous, but I guess if you're in the middle of podunk nowhere and you're fucking up high school, miracles do happen.
That is true. I mean, we we were kind of on the edge of the Bible Belt of the Midwest in the state we grew up in.
Yeah, no, there. I can confidently tell you that I'm not entirely sure. That's right. I can confidently tell you that I'm not sure if there are more churches or bars in the town that I currently reside in. There's
Oh,
confidence in
that's
that. In that. I'm not confident.
there are definitely more churches than bars, but it also depends on what you qualify as a church.
Some people who
Like
go to the bars constitute the bars as a church.
exactly.
Bud Light would be the god they worship too.
Bud Light, Jim Beam, Johnny Walker, take your pick.
I'll be frank with you though. Anybody who happens to worship like Jaeger, that's culty.
Whew.
That's culty, straight up. Like y'all are gonna end up like mass suicidal, and you're all gonna be shit faced.
Jaeger's fucking rough. But oddly enough, if you mix it with Red Bull, a little bit of 151, and what was the other thing? Fuck, now I can't think. I believe it's Jaeger, 151, and Red Bull.
I feel like
mixed
the
together
answer to this is that you suddenly have the Super Mario Star.
No. It's literally called it's literally called a liquid cocaine.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
Suddenly you're both hammered and want to do shit.
I've never done that. But what I did do once
quite an experience
is Four Loko. You remember Four Loko?
I believe they're still in stores, although they have been tamed down since
yes,
previous years.
I had them when they weren't tame. I had 2 of them in 90 minutes.
So heart palpitations and an incredible amount of intoxication to the point where you didn't know what you were doing.
I remember holding my arms up, like kind of half with my fist clenched, just above my shoulders, right, like out in front of me a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I looked over.
So zombie walking.
Yeah, kinda, right? Like I look like I was ready to fight somebody. And I look at my buddy who was with me, who will go unnamed, and I said to him, I am fucking drunk. Just like really excited. Super pumped. I was ready for anything. And I couldn't feel anything.
Was this the first time you'd been drunk?
No, but it was the first time I'd ever had Four Loko, and the only time. Because part of the problem is that those were so goddamn delicious that my first sip, I was like, oh, this doesn't have alcohol in it. And so in less than 90 minutes, I had 40 plus ounces of a very high octane, heavily caffeinated alcoholic beverage. So I'm like 140 pounds on a good day. And I felt like I had the ability to lift fucking cars. Like, in my head, it was like, the Macho Man Randy Savage! Like, I was like ready to go.
And in reality, not so much.
No bueno. No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. But yeah, suddenly we okay, so it sounds like the podcast is going to be very alcohol driven.
Apparently, I mean, that's okay. Again, I've discussed this with you before. As a member of the military, we are pretty much fueled upon caffeine, hate. No. Caffeine, ibuprofen or Motrin, hate, and that's about it. and alcohol. And occasionally water because you need to hydrate or you will die.
Sorry, kids. Fred got me with the good one. I always find death to be really hilarious. Well, really, I find water to be the most hilarious. So it was like a double whammy. I was drowning.
Drowning in your own smoke.
Yeah, these are all fairly bad jokes. I'm really terrible. I should just stop.
Aren't they all just terrible jokes? Like, really?
Frankly, with you, every time we start recording and we're on air, like, I genuinely feel like this is the last episode. Like, there's no fucking way anybody's gonna listen to this.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a bunch of bullshit that we're throwing together.
Yeah, like, I'm on the cusp of just abandoning this. If I get one bad email from somebody that's like, please stop. Like, I can't change my phone to another thing. So every time you guys air another episode, like, it comes on, and I just listen to it because it's new. Otherwise, I'm just listening to old episodes you guys put out. And because I can't get a new phone yet, I just keep listening. And I, like, please stop. That's how I imagine this going.
Oh, God. You're one unsubscribe away from really just calling it quits.
Yeah, that one guy in San Jose, California, who listens to everything that we put out on this channel is somehow, like, he's done. He's fed up with it suddenly. He emails us like, yeah, my name's Tom. Fuck you. Please stop. I was a dedicated fan up until that last episode, and now I'm like, this is, after I get done mailing this letter, because I'm going to do it snail mail style, I'm going in the bedroom and I'm killing my turtle.
Or he's going to go and create the next Bob and Tom show and really put us all out of business.
Right, exactly. It'll be tragic. Anyway, that's what I think that this podcast is going to turn into, perhaps.
Just a bunch of bullshit and shenanigans.
No, just one guy in California really pissed off. That's what I'm aiming for. That's my goal. That's the standard right now. Is I'm trying to find the one guy in California who hates this.
So really, we just need to start spewing a shit ton of Republican rhetoric.
No, I told you we can't go political. See, that's easy paths. They told us when we were young, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right.
Measure twice and cut once.
No, frankly, I love California. I don't want to piss off anybody in California. I just assume that, given the fact that a bunch of fucking people live there, there's probably going to be one asshole I piss off in California. At least one.
Oh, absolutely.
And right now, I know for sure there's one guy in San Jose who's listening to everything that we put out. And to him, I say thank you.
God bless you, sir, because goodness.
Yeah, without you, Fred and I are nothing. We're just ghosts in the machine.
You just need to donate to the Patreon so that the Condor can, maybe get some groceries this week.
Right, and leave my house. I'd love to leave my house. If we reach $50 a month, I get to leave my house.
You make it sound like I imprison you.
You are a fucking warlock, and I'm a fucking bird, okay? What do you think happened? Like, I'm a talking bird who talks to a drunk wizard once a week. What do you think happened?
I need to learn that silencing spell again.
I believe I tore that page out. I burned it. We got warm together with it. I remember. It was used as body fuel.
Body fuel? Did you eat
That
it?
does sound like food, doesn't it? Body fuel is food, if I'm correct. I'm not the brightest bird, okay? I'm a fucking
Brondo. It's got
yeah, like
electrolytes.
I'm the Brondor.
Brondo?
No, like I combine the words bro and condor because like bros are really dumb, right?
I mean,
I'm the
I guess.
Brondor. All right, well, I guess that's this week's episode of Talking Chaos. We appreciate you guys listening.
Which is literally a bunch of just fucking chaos.
That's really great. Drinks are not on us this week. We do not have the money. If you want to change that, contribute to our Patreon. And I'm not saying we'll buy you drinks with it, but like you never know.
But you may buy us
That's
drinks
true.
with it.
You will absolutely buy us drinks with it. Yeah, buy us drinks.
I need more whiskey. Please buy.
Fred needs more whiskey, and maybe I can be a real boy again. All right, time to say goodbye, Fred.
I have no words of wisdom today. I'm out. That's it. Tapped out. Got nothing.
All right, this has been Talking Chaos, and I am the Condor. Condor. This is Condor here. I just wanted to say thank you for listening to today's episode. And if you like what we do, head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/talkingchaos.